The Iberian Peninsula is a land in southwestern Europe surrounded by water on most sides except for a border with France up in the northeast that leads to the rest of the continent. This area consists of Spain, Portugal, Andorra, the British territory of Gibraltar, parts of France, and depending on who you ask, Catalonia. Many people know of this area, but do people even know how this area came to be? In 1994, in a site along the Atapuerca Mountains in northeastern Spain, 80 fossils resembling 6 skeletons in the cave of Gran Dolina dated between 780,000 to 1 million years old were found, making these the oldest known humanoids in Europe. I say humanoid because this discovery is also believed to have uncovered a new species, homo antecessor. This being long before the agricultural revolution, these people had a largely nomadic lifestyle, eating mostly meat like small horses and deer. Around 3000 BC, complex cultures were developing, which in turn would pave the way for the first civilization and Iberian trade routes, covering the Mediterranean. Specifically in the south of the peninsula, soft metals like copper and gold would be exchanged for items like ivory from North Africa and amber from the Baltic Sea out near Greece. Around 1100 BC, the Phoenicians, Greeks, and Carthaginians settled along the coast of Spain, establishing trading colonies. The interaction between the Greeks and Phoenicians were crucial to the development of the peninsula, introducing olive oil, wine, the potter's wheel, the use of iron in the area, and they even were responsible for the first forms of Iberian writing. Centuries later, in 218 BC, during the Second Punic War between the Roman Republic and the Carthaginians, the Roman Empire invaded the peninsula. However, it wouldn't be until 2 centuries later that the Roman Empire actually took control of Iberia, due to 200 years of war with the previously mentioned Celts, Phoenicians, Greeks, and Carthaginian colonies. Under control of the Romans, the area was known as Hispania. The influence of the Romans is still apparent today, with Spanish and Portuguese being 2 of the Romance languages, and both the names Spain and Portugal being derived from Roman names for the land. After the fall of the Western Roman Empire in the 5th century AD, Iberia was invaded by Germanic tribes, specifically the Suebi, the only kingdom that survived the other waves of Germanic tribes, until the Goths eventually took control of the entire peninsula. In 711 AD, a Muslim army from North Africa led by Tariq ibn Ziyad, a Muslim commander, invaded Hispania. The fight for the area lasted about 8 years and resulted in the Muslims conquering all of Iberia except for a few of the northern kingdoms. Over time, the Caliphate lost land in the north, allowing kingdoms such as Leon, Castile, and Portugal to develop. In the early 11th century, the reigning Muslim power in Spain had collapsed, and there was a brief period of a Christian-only Iberia. But then, by the end of the century, the Kingdom of Morocco had taken control of almost half of the peninsula. In 1230, the 2 main Christian powers in the area, Leon and Castile, unified, and by the mid-13th century, the Kingdom of Morocco was kicked out of Iberia. The Crown of Castile and the Kingdom of Portugal took up most of this land. In 1469, the marriage of Isabella of Castile and Ferdinand of Aragon unified these 2 powers. In 1524, the last piece of the puzzle, Navarre, was unified with Spain. After this and a failed attempt to annex Portugal, we are left with today's countries. Well, today's borders at least. Maybe.